Hello, and welcome to my KSU Capstone video presentation. I'm Kelly McElhaney, and I'm currently a student at KSU where I'm obtaining my Master's in Instructional Technology. I currently hold a bachelor's degree in early childhood education from Georgia State University. I have had 8 wonderful years of teaching experience, 5 in first grade and 3 years in third grade. My capstone was a learning experience that involved helping other teachers at EC West with their technology integration. EC West is a Title I pre-K through 5 elementary school located in South Fulton County, where we serve around 850 wonderful and motivated students. The title of my capstone project is Using Technology for Demonstrating Learning. The purpose of this capstone was to provide professional development to use technology tools for the choice of demonstrating learning principle. So this principle is one of 7 principles for personalized learning, and this was created by Fulton County. And at EC West, we focused a lot on the choice and voice principle, which is where students can choose how to learn content that is more applicable to their learning styles. However, we had not had many professional developments on the choice for demonstrating learning, which is how students can show their mastery of the content. So the need for this capstone was identified through surveys and conversations with teachers at my school. And many teachers expressed that there was a lack of professional development to really understand this principle of personalized learning. So after identifying a need, I developed a plan, and my thoughts were centered around coaching sessions. So many of our professional developments were one-shot, school-wide county initiatives where teachers, including myself, would walk away overwhelmed. Some teachers would try to integrate what they learned, some did not, and there were no follow-ups or no check-ins to see how we were doing or if we were even implementing what was presented at these one-and-done presentations. So as a result, I thought of creating a coaching model for professional learning that also included one-on-one coaching sessions as a check-in. I wanted to create a series of whole group and follow-up one-on-one sessions that were planned from the beginning of the year, so that'd be August, all the way to the end of the year, December. And I wanted to extend this time because I wanted the teachers to have time to really interact and reflect on how to integrate a technology tool for the choice for demonstrating learning principle. In August of 2018, I conducted my first meeting of my capstone project, which included a Nearpod on the choice of demonstrating learning principle and how technology can really be a helpful tool for this principle and for personalized learning. At the end of the session, the teachers were surveyed on their comfort level with technology through a Levels of Technology Integration survey, which is also called LOTI. They were surveyed on the state of technology integration in their classrooms and what subject or skill they would like to address through technology. So after I analyzed the survey data, I saw that many teachers wanted help with writing. And writing has been a hot topic at my school for a couple years, but many of the professional developments were geared towards teaching writing, but we were not shown any tools or ways on how the students could practice or assess their writing skills other than them just writing a piece. So I did some research and I came across BoomWriter. So BoomWriter is a free online tool that really motivates and engages learners through collaboration with their peers and their teacher. So during my second whole group coaching session, the teachers were introduced to BoomWriter by navigating through a website that I made through Weebly. And this website had many resources for the teachers to use First, we watched an introductory video to kind of hook the teachers in so that way they could get more engaged and get excited about Boomwriter. I also created screencasts for the teachers for creating accounts, adding students, students logging on for the first time, troubleshooting, things like that. I also created handouts for the teachers just in case they had issues with the videos. They could download a handout by clicking the button, and that handout would have the instructions and screenshots of what to do. So during this session, the teachers became students to experience Boomwriter. So I created accounts for them under my name, and they were able to go through Boomwriter through the students' eyes, so that way they had a better understanding of how the tech tool worked and how they could help their students when their students had a problem. So at the end of the session, we had our goals, and our goals were to create an account, add students, and assign a story. Very simple goals. I just really wanted them to get started and get their feet wet with Boomwriter first. After the whole group session, I visited the teachers one-on-one to see how they were doing with the implementation. So I would go to them either during their special time, lunchtime, after school, whenever we could schedule it in. We would meet and we would talk about how they were doing with Boomwriter, how their students were doing, did they have any issues, were there any things that they really liked, any things that they didn't like, and it was just more of a personalized connection and that personalized help for the teachers. And so it made them feel more comfortable because it was just me and the other teacher one-on-one in their own classroom. So I really wanted them to feel like they could really express, the good, the bad, and the ugly of what they're experiencing. And so also during those sessions, we would go over the Lodi checklist, which is the levels of integration, and see how they were developing as a technology integrating teacher. So during the third whole group session, the teachers, we all came together and we spoke about the experiences with Boomwriter. So the teachers discussed their trials and their setbacks and their celebrations, student work, things like that. And we collaborated on what things that we saw with the students writing, what they need more help on. We created rubrics, we created anchor charts for writing tips, and we also discussed different ways to embed the tool into daily classrooms. So either you could use it during centers or when you go to computer lab time, or some teachers even did it for homework. So at the end of this session, it was decided that more one-on-one sessions would probably be more appropriate due to the individualized support. The teachers really liked the one-on-one, so we said, all right, instead of having another whole group session, we'll just meet, whenever we can. So for the next few weeks, I met with the different teachers, and I had sent out a survey at the end of this whole group session to see who still really needed help and who was more of just check in on me when you feel like it. So I concentrated on the teachers that really needed more support first, and then I would check in with the other teachers when I could. So for my capstone evaluation and reflection, I used a lot of surveys. So I used surveys, I used Lodi surveys for the beginning and the end of the whole capstone project, so that way the teachers could see their growth. I also did a Lodi checklist for me and each of the individual teachers, so that way they could see their growth throughout. Each participating teacher completed a survey at the end of each session, so that way we were all on track of our goals and if we needed to address any other issues on the next coaching session. So this was the example of a Lodi survey that I used one-on-one with the teachers when we would have our follow-up sessions, and we would just go through, where they were at the previous session or at the beginning of this capstone project and where we wanted to go, or what they really wanted to start to implement and start to act as a teacher. I also evaluated this project through observations and conversations. So with the one-on-one sessions, it really allowed me to have really genuine discussions with the teachers about technology integration and about how their students reacted to Boomwriter. As a whole, all the teachers stated that the kids loved Boomwriter. It really sparked their interest again in writing, and they wanted to write more. I spoke to a few students when I did classroom observations, and they loved it. They loved that they were able to see what their friends were writing, but it also gave them that privacy because you can't really see the name of who is writing, so they're able to express themselves without that fear of any peer pressure. So these are a couple of examples of some student work that some teachers gave me when we had our one-on-one sessions. This capstone project has allowed me to support the teachers at my school and has given me the opportunity to grow as a leader and sharpen my leadership skills. I was able to coach teachers in different technology integration sessions, and I was able to model and facilitate the use of Boomwriter within the classrooms. Also, I was able to really hone in on my technology skills, and I created a website, and I created screencasts and handouts for the teachers so that way they could have those resources if they couldn't get to me right away. And those were very helpful for the teachers because if they needed to troubleshoot a problem, they could just go back to the website and watch the screencast or pull up the handout, and they could really help themselves. The most important skill that I think I learned through this experience is how to work with adults and how to teach adults. So teaching adults is a little different than teaching children because adults are more hesitant and can be a little bit more resistant when it comes to change or technology, because technology can be very intimidating and scary. Sometimes it doesn't work, so it gets frustrating. And I kept a positive attitude throughout my implementation, and I tried to show empathy to the teachers so that way they could feel comfortable with expressing their concerns to me. And I feel like by meeting them where they were and by having those follow-up sessions, by holding them accountable, it made them more motivated and it made them embrace the technology tool. So overall, this capstone was a complete success, and next year we're going to find some new tech tools to use in the classroom, and so the effects of this capstone will continue on into the next year.